We have 17 cameras across our property and there are still blind spots. Today, that changes. Today, we're gonna do an upgrade on our security. We own about 30 acres and one of the most important aspects of that is security. This is the G6 PTZ camera and I'm super excited to try this out first of all, but I'm also excited to see how this works. So this is the G6 PTZ from Ubiquiti. It runs at $399 on their store. It is a 4K dual lens camera with one wide and one telephoto lens with up to 10x hybrid zoom. It also has infrared night vision out to about 100 feet, give or take. And obviously the elephant in the room, the motorized pan, tilt, and zoom. You can remotely control this camera from your phone, computer, etc. And you can basically get anywhere around the camera up to like 300-ish degrees. So we're gonna be putting the camera right about here, all the way up there on the roof. Not on the roof, I guess on the side of the barn, because it is gonna give us great coverage of not only our pond that we have, but also kind of the back area of the house. In this configuration, we do have other static cameras that are covering a lot of the areas we need and providing pretty much 360 coverage in the area. We can zoom in with optical zoom pretty much to anywhere out in the back. Okay, so on the opposite side of the camera, we're about 10 feet away from where the camera will be positioned. This is the Pro XG8 PoE switch that I installed recently in a network upgrade video. So go check that out if you wanna see more info on that switch specifically, but this switch does support up to PoE+++, which I think we only need a PoE++ for this camera. Okay, so we've got the hole drilled. I unfortunately did 2 holes, so sorry, Mom. It looks pretty bad outside, but I'm hoping to cover it up with a camera mount. I think that'll solve all of our problems. So this is the outside. Obviously, we have the 2 holes like I was talking about. We have the cable coming through the new hole, and I'm hoping that with the mount of the G6 PTZ that we can cover up that hole and hide the unfortunate mess that I made, because for some reason when I drilled, I of course drilled right through the stud in the wall, and that's not gonna look very good. So guys, I messed up and I put the spacer on before I ran the cable through, so I'm gonna try to fit this through. There's no way that's fitting. Crap.
2 hours later.
All right, so I'm pushing the cable back through the hole, and now that we have done this correctly, we should be good to go. So if you see on the mount, the cable is coming up and in the mount. All right, so the mount is on. That is not going anywhere. With this camera, you really want to purchase the other mount for it. I think this would have turned out a lot better on the corner, but it is what it is. I will also point out that you don't want to use very thick Cat6 cable because it is a pain to bend that cable, especially if the cable doesn't bend very easily. All right, so the camera's mounted. It's actually really solid and on here nicely. You cannot see any of the extra holes that I made, so I got the mom approval there. All right, guys, so we're gonna go, and I'm inside of the barn right now. We're going to plug in the camera from the inside. It is 11 o'clock at night right now, which is a perfect time to try this camera at nighttime. So let's take a look at not only our controls we have for the camera, but also how it looks at night. So we are currently at 1x zoom, as you'll see here in the bottom right corner. This is kind of the frame that we're looking at right now, obviously without showing too much detail. We can zoom in pretty far here. These are rocks over next to the barn. So obviously it's not insanely crisp, but that's not what this camera is for. You're not gonna look at rocks. So if we zoom out, you'll see we can pan and zoom at the same time. And I'm just using keyboard controls. I'm using the I and the O on the keyboard, and that is allowing me to zoom in and out. So it is difficult to see certain things, but you'll see these trees here are probably about 100 something feet away. So that's probably about the edge of the infrared distance we have. But we can see the trees, and if there was a person or if there was an animal, I'm very confident we will be able to see that. You'll also see up in the upper right corner, there's some houses and such over there, and those are also showing up very nicely and very crisply through the camera at nighttime. I will say the zooming is very smooth, and I do like that about this camera. So if we go up here, this is kind of looking at our house a little bit. You'll see we have a very bright light here, which is actually a G5 bullet camera. But you'll see you can see the detail in the siding, you can see the shadows. It's a very high quality camera, honestly, even at nighttime. So I'll put some videos on the screen right now of what it looks like during the daytime. Obviously, the zooming is about the same. There is a point where you get to about 5x zoom, 4 to 5x zoom, and it's very low quality at that point because we are still using the wide lens. But as soon as it switches to that super like telephoto lens, like it is phenomenal, and you really, really can see pretty far. We have a pond that is about 1,000 feet away, and you can pretty clearly see it. I'm not confident you could make out faces from that distance, but you could very clearly see, you know, if somebody's out there, you could see if there's a vehicle out there, all that kind of stuff. And that's a lot more than you can see on the G5 bullet cameras that we have. Obviously, the bullet cameras don't have any form of optical zoom, but I did want to throw that out there as an example. This camera also has return to home options, which is pretty cool. So you can set it to automatically go back to home after up to a minute of inactivity. So let's say you move it around, you zoom in on something that you want to see. 1 minute later, it'll automatically go back to where it's stationed to be. That way it's ready to continue getting these motion events that you're looking for. And speaking of motion events, this is a G6 camera, so it does have all of the nice bells and whistles that we have come to love and expect. It's got the AI functionality of the detections, the smart detections, of course. You can do license plates, you can do face, you can do all that kind of stuff as well on this camera. I did forget to mention earlier, but this does have patrolling and auto tracking functionality, which some of the older cameras did not. So this does have patrolling. You can set preset points that it goes to throughout the patrol, and the auto tracking can track people and I think animals as well, that it will track them if it detects them in the frame. Now, one of the questions I got asked was, what if it detects somebody and it tracks them and then it loses the overall frame and you miss some action? And that is something that is worth considering. If you're trying to get full coverage like that, though, I would highly recommend you don't get a 360 camera like this. The 360 camera, in my opinion, is really useful for situations where you just want remote awareness of what's going on. You're typically going to have static cameras that are positioned wherever they are, and I think the 360 camera is an option to supplement the views that may be difficult to see or hard to see on a static camera. So does this camera make sense? And honestly, I think it does. If you compare this to the older cameras they had, the older PTZ cameras, this is a great value. Even compared to the G5 camera, I think there's a noticeable upgrade here in the quality. I do have a buddy who does have the G5 PTZ camera, and I can tell you the quality on the G6 looks better than the G5 did. Additionally, with the auto tracking and all those extra functionalities that we get with the G6 PTZ camera, I think it makes for a much better product as well. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would. For anybody who actually has a valid use case for this camera, I would recommend it. For somebody like me using it at my house, probably it's not necessary. But for a commercial environment where you're trying to get increased visibility and increased viewpoints, I think it's a great example of a camera you can use to supplement those views on the fly if you ever need to. It's really nice for remote access, and I think that's one of the best features of the camera is you can control it remotely. So if you're interested in this camera, I do have an affiliate link below. Feel free to use that link and try it out. There are higher quality cameras that Ubiquiti sells that may have more precision or more zoom, but for a standard camera like this, where we're just trying to get some increased visibility, this is a great starter point for only $400. I don't think it's a bad price point for that. It's really just the cost of maybe 2 or 3 other cameras, and for the value you get, I think it's pretty worth it. So if you guys like this video, please leave a comment or subscribe. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.